Hello, so today I'm interviewing fellow VTuber Lucie Lovelle. Would you like to introduce yourself?
My name is Lucie Lovelle, and I'm a VTuber with a focus on horror. And I love doing your mom and eating hot Cheetos and drinking Red Bull. And I bring a very chaotic vibe everywhere I go. Yay!
I love how you peak every time you say yay. It's
I
amazing.
know.
10 out of 10. So, first up, what is your personal experience? Are you only mental health or substance use, or both?
My family has a big issue with substance use, but I personally do not. Fingers crossed. So I'm primarily mental health. I've had bad mental health since I was a wee child.
How did you decide to go to treatment?
Um, decide. It's mostly because I am almost 30 and I have a history of a lot of abuse and neglect. And unfortunately, I am now a very neurodivergent adult who doesn't know how to handle big emotions or be an adult. So I needed somebody who was unbiased and responsible and preferably older than me that would be able to give me advice and listen to me. And it is definitely the move. It has been the best move so far.
Glad to hear it. What was your primary reason for seeking treatment, which, again, you already touched on, but if you would reiterate for us?
Yeah, it's just because I can't live in my own head. I know I'm very mentally ill. I have one of those things where you can see yourself being mentally ill and saying and doing things, but you just can't stop it. And so I needed somebody who's a professional that deals with this type of stuff in order to try to stop those ruminating thoughts. I don't want to live in negativity, and I would love my brain to be quiet. Mm,
Sounds like a very mature decision. Do you have multiple reasons, or have your reasons changed over time?
I'm getting help? No, it's always just to make sure I don't kill myself, like, to be honest, like, not a bit. Uh, I have, like, suicidal tendencies, I have a history of it, so whenever I get really bad, I know to take the road of getting help, and so yeah, I just keep going back. It's just to keep me from going off the deep end. I know myself, so I need somebody to help me. I need help, and so I seek it out.
Awesome. It's great to have that kind of self awareness because, not everyone does, unfortunately.
Mm,
In your treatment, what's been your experience with medication? Like, did somebody talk with you about meds? Did you have a choice of taking anything versus not? Were you pressured at any point to take meds?
um, taking meds. I have a weird history with meds. I think I haven't ever really been consistent with taking things because nothing ever really worked for me. I don't think I've ever felt pressured to take them, but I do feel like I have a hard time setting boundaries in general, and when I'm talking to therapists are very forceful. They're very forceful for some reason. Psychiatrists are very forceful. Therapists are fine. Psychiatrists are very forceful. And it's hard to say like no and like this doesn't work because they always are saying something. So I don't know. I don't know.
That is
I didn't
fair.
think this one through. Give me a second. I'm gonna
No
have to start this one over because
worries.
I didn't think this one through. I have to think about my med history. Um, can you say the question again for me, please? I want us to restart
Yes.
that one.
In your treatment, what has been your experience with medication? Like, did somebody talk with you about meds? Did you have a choice of taking anything versus not taking anything? Were you pressured at any point to be on medication?
Okay. With meds, I feel like no one ever really spoke to me about it. They kind of just said, "Oh, you're depressed. Here, take this." And because of that, I've had just a long history of things not working for me or not knowing what is supposed to happen. Like, what am I truly supposed to feel, you know? Like, I never know when the threshold of like my depression versus sadness. Because one is just, being sad, and one is like actual medical need. So I don't know. It's been a hard journey, and I'm really inconsistent with them because of my ADHD and other things too. So I feel like I've never been able to get the full effects of it. Uh, Pressured though, I don't think I've ever felt pressured, but I do have a hard time saying no. And it takes more for me to be like, hey, this isn't working. I need to try something else. Um, like currently right now, I'm not on anything, but I definitely should be on something. But that again, it's therapists and psychiatrists. There are two different things. So therapist is easy to talk to. For me, a psychiatrist is just harder to get that appointment going. But yeah, that's my answer.
Understandable, thank you. Next up, is being involved in the community important when in some form of recovery, or if you have other support like family, friends who are aware and supportive, is that enough? Again, everybody's different, and what they need is different. Just generally speaking, in your personal opinion, as someone with lived experience.
I think that having a community, a friend, at least one person in your corner that you can truly rely on is one of the most important things for mental health or recovery of any kind. Um, it doesn't even have to be a family member. It just has to be somebody who believes in you and who is reliable and who can be there for you. Um, I think a lot of people they just feel alone and like they can't do it, and having that stability is it can mean life and death for people. Um, and definitely in my case, if I didn't have like with my attempt, if I didn't have my friends, if I didn't have my sister taking care of me, I would be dead. I wouldn't be here. Um, I think my quality of life is better because of the people in it, and if I didn't have them, I what would be the point? So it's super important to recovery, I believe. Yeah,
Well said,
gotta have someone
thank
in
you.
your corner.
Thank you. For those that have a negative view of any form of treatment, whether it's therapy or going to rehab or meetings or anything like that, what would you say to someone if they told you they had to go to a mandated treatment? This is presuming this is a person that you're relatively close with or someone that trusts you enough to tell you that sort of thing.
How would I feel about it?
Like, if they have a negative view and they told you they had to go to a mandated treatment, like they didn't have a choice in the matter, how would you, like, help them with their
Mm.
reluctance?
How would I navigate that situation? I
Mm,
mean, I would use me as an example, probably. I mean, I would like if they trust me and they love me and they know me and they've known my struggles, um, then they would know that, what I did, the path that I've chosen wasn't light. And it's hard and it's irritating but they can do it too. Um, I can't even someone in my life I don't know. Yeah, I feel like that's the only thing I could think of. I haven't had that type of experience happen. People have negative connotation. I guess, yeah, the only thing I really could do was just show them me. Because I guess part of it is like being personable, right? If you can show, if you can connect with them on that level and show them, then that's usually when people's minds start to change. So that would be my answer.
thank you again. You already answered this, but I'm gonna ask you again because it's in the order of the questions. Did you go to therapy?
Yes. I go to therapy more. I should go more often than I do, but I do go. Um, and it is definitely the move. Mhm.
You already answered this one too, but was it by choice?
Yes, it was by choice. Well, by choice, as in, if I don't go, I'll probably kill myself. But yes, it was by choice.
Did you have more than one therapist throughout your time?
Oh, yeah. I've gone in college and they don't have like a therapist that stays there like year round. They're all on contracts. So I've had to switch around a lot there. Um, I've had a therapist that ghosted me. Um, and now I found my current one. So it's not like a one size fits all. Like you're gonna have to shop around. It may not work out, and it takes a while. But I do have someone now, and she's lovely.
So you answered my next question. Are you still in therapy?
Yes, I am. I need it.
Do you feel like you will ever finish being in therapy, or do you think you will always be in therapy, even if your frequency of appointment is low?
I think I'll always be in therapy. I think everyone should always be in therapy. I don't think there's anything bad that can come from having an unbiased opinion of events and just, letting it out and hearing what someone has to say, or even just a rant to get it out. So you don't have to put it on your friends if you don't feel comfortable. I think everyone should have it forever.
Well
Mhm.
said. Thank you. In the course of your treatment, did you ever have group therapy or group sessions? How did you feel about it at the time and now?
I've never had a group therapy session ever, and I think that there are positives to it and a time and place, but I know that I personally would have rather been choked out than do that.
Understandable. So I guess this answers my next question. Have you sought group therapy on your own?
No, thank you.
Fair enough. Relapse, whether it's mental health related or substance, happens. How do you, or did you react at different times in your recovery? How did you and those around you, if you had supports, handle it? Like I said, relapse happens. But how did you return to your recovery journey after that? You can be as detailed or not as you like.
um, well, I don't know necessarily if I relapse, but when I get really bad, what I do is I tend to isolate and I read. I read a lot. For hours and hours and hours and hours. And I reread things that have made me happy over and over again. And that's kind of how I cope with big things. So if I ever disappear for long periods of time, I'm probably reading. That's all I got in that one. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you again. Do you think it really gets easier with time? Like, have you had an easier time as time has gone on as you're more used to this stuff?
Easier, easier. Would say that as time goes on and you get older, you really do start to like come into yourself. So you're not to say that you're not no longer mentally ill, like you still are, but things do start to make more sense and you do start to feel like a little bit more stable. Um which I think is very helpful. Also, I lost track of what was the question?
I think you answered it pretty well, but do you think it really gets easier with time?
Oh yeah, no. It just you get older, so you really do get older. You start to solidify yourself. You start to solidify your personality. Things start to make sense a little bit more. So it's easier, I think, to make sense of the world and to talk it through. You become not to say that everybody, again, mental health is a huge spectrum, but for me personally, I feel like I am more stable than I was at 17, even if I am still very mentally ill. So I'm able to actually take advice in now than more than so when I was a kid, which is it mean the difference between life and death, right?
Right, I got you. So, do you discuss your mental health issues with any of your friends or family?
Yeah, all the time. I'm pretty much an open book. I don't see the point in keeping things quiet or bottled up. Um, but that's just me personally. I think if I start to go quiet, that's when people should worry.
Keep that in mind. What are your most utilized and or favorite coping skills?
Reading, love my reading. Fan fiction specifically, or my favorite book series, Captain Prince. Please check it out. It's amazing. Other than reading, what do I do most? I kind of almost like scroll on TikTok, but even then that can be a hit or miss because if it starts to give you like a lot of negative stuff, then it's a bust, right? So I tend to stick with just reading a lot. I'll reread manga stuff too. Like I'll go back into comics I like. Things that I know already and I've found fun and comforting and I'll go back to that to feel that safety.
Makes
Yeah.
sense. Thank you. So, hopefully you check this question before I ask it, but in your own words, what's the difference between medical marijuana and using recreationally? Basically, do you see yourself as addicted or as this is just my medication and it actually fucking works?
Um well, I have okay, so I have a weird relationship with the whole idea of pain management and being addicted to pain management because the whole point is to not be in pain anymore, right? So of
Mm-hmm.
course I'm addicted to not being in pain. Um I don't know. I have a weird relationship with it. I think you once it gets to the point where you're treating people differently based off of if you have it or not, if you can get your hands on it, then that's when it becomes a problem. If it starts to affect the people around you, that's when I think a problem is arising. Um, but until then, if you're fucking disabled and the only thing that you can do is do a lot of weed because they refuse to give you an opioid, then do it. Do it. You're in so much pain. They don't understand. No one understands your pain. So, but yeah, complicated relationship, but in the end, if you're an adult, then do what you want, right? It's not my I'm not you. So, yeah.
Thank you again. Last question. If there was one thing you could impart to someone considering treatment, what would it be?
I'm proud of you. I mean, the first step is staying like something's wrong, right? I'm proud of you. It's not easy. Um and it's not going to be oh god, it's not going to be a straight shot. That's something that a lot of people need to know. It's not going to be a straight shot. You're going to have a lot of bumpy roads and stuff like that. A lot of downs, a lot of ups. But the fact that you are starting this journey is incredible. It's powerful, and I'm proud of you. Yeah.
Thank you, Lucy. Do you have anything else to add to this before I do my little outro?
Um, Watch Arcane.
Killing
Watch
me.
Arcane or else. That's all I got. That's all, folks. Dun, 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 dun.
Well, thank you, Lucy. And as always, life's a terrible thing, but we're in it together. Yeah?